So, we are at the local Armstrong Gardens. And we are at the local Armstrong Gardens because I have a plant that needs a pot. I have a little Aloinopsis here. And we're going to go get a pot for him. And we're going to go ahead and put him in that pot. And then give him water eventually and hopefully have him grow. So anyway, that's why we're here. That's what we're going to go do. So let's try this place out. Let's see what's going on. All right. Omicron's firing up. Omicron variant. So we're going to put our mask on. As we see Armstrong Gardens. It's looking up in the air. You should not look so far in the air. You don't need to look so far in the air. Okay. So we're going to go put this mask on here. And we're going to go in here. Armstrong Garden Centers. And so we are going to go not look at the succulents because everything is covered for the rain that's about to happen. So this is what Armstrong does when it's raining. They put everything in the covers. And of course, why wouldn't you? Look at all these PVNs in here. Oh, they got some nice plants going on. Oh, they don't want us looking. They don't want us lifting. So they got all kinds of PVNs in here right now. Big guys. That's nice. Oh, some opalinas in here. Oh, they got some nice plants going on right now at the old Armstrong. Sempers, sedums, andromicus. Very nice. Some neon breakers or something like that over here. Some Schwarzkopf phaeoniums. Very nice. Okay, so I got some Sempers here, some clustered echeveria of some sort. What are you? Echeveria pumila clusters. Some agavoides here. What do we got here? What? Calicoli marmorata. Oh, okay, alright. Thought you were some Lenophyllum for a second there. I was about to buy a bunch of that. And we got some pandas over here. Some more calicoes and some jades. Oh, and a bucket of sadness. Look at this bucket of sadness over here. Oh, sadness buckets. Oh, these poor chryssulas. They're not that bad. Alright, but that's not why we're here. That is not why we're here. We are here to buy a new pot for the Aloinopsis. So let's go do that. Let's go in here and get a new pot for the Aloinopsis. And here we go. And these people are like, why this guy talking to his freaking camera? Because he's got an ego problem. That's probably what it is. Alright, what kind of goodies over here? Honestly, I do need some more river rock. But they don't have the rock I like to use here. That's a nice rock. But yeah, it's a little too shiny. I need some just river rock. And they don't have that here, but they got pumice. They got the pumice. They got the white gold. It is the white gold. Oh, that's the best stuff. Perlite, yeah, it'll get you through. That's the good stuff. Anyway, we're not here to look at supplies. We're here to buy a pot for an Aloinopsis. And this is my favorite section of pots. The red and black ones. I like to grow my mesons in red and black pots. And so we need something good size. That's a nice one. Or do we want to go with one of these cuppy roundy saucery boys? Well, I guess that's the choice. Or I could go pure coppery. I don't like coppery. I like red. red. Oh, I got a split rock of one of these. I like these. These are kind of a cool color. But for our Aloinopsis, okay, what do we think? Squarish or roundish? I think that's the one. I think our guy's going to be real happy in that. And that's a bigger one because he's a little bit of a bigger plant. So we're going to go buy this. We're going to head to work. And we're going to put a plant in a pot after I make sure that everything is working and running. Okay, bye-bye. Hello and good evening. It's the end of the workday once again. Got a little time here before I have to go home and see my lovely wife and my babies. I love my family so much. They are pretty dang wonderful. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this pot that I picked up earlier at Armstrong Gardens. And we're going to take this plant right here, Aloinopsis Luckhoffii. This is actually Aloinopsis setaphira, but Aloinopsis setaphira is part of, evidently, the amazingly complex Aloinopsis Luckhoffii complex. It's a complex. That's probably why they call it a complex. So this is like a subspecies, but it is an Aloinopsis Luckhoffii. Aloinopsis setaphira, specifically because it's got all these little spiky teethies. Oh, spiky teethies. Oh, look at that spiky teethies. Oh, yeah. So this guy's looking pretty good. He's got some roots in here. They're a little dry, but that's what you want when you get your plants shipped bare root. You don't want any old soil on there. You don't want it wet. You don't want it to be rotting away in the box while it's coming on a boat or an airplane from some other country, if that's where you got that plant. Of course, if you bought it at your local nursery, if I bought it at my local nursery, I would bring it here and I would take it out of that pot immediately and knock all of that crap that they put in that pot, that plant in, get rid of it. Because it's usually peat mossy garbage. It's usually made to make plants big, fast, so they can sell them. But it's not good for long-term happiness of these plants. That stuff is usually typically very moisture retentive, and it will rot away your plants starting at the roots. Ask me how I know. I've got some experience nowadays, and I've killed a number of plants, unfortunately, but that's how you learn. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this guy in a pot. So by the end of this video here, hopefully it's in the pot, it's happy. We're not going to water it for a couple days afterwards because, you know, when you're potting these things up, you could damage these roots, and you don't want to introduce any water to any injuries on here, because that can cause some problems. Fungus, rot will get right in there and just eat that plant up. Again, ask me how I know. So what we're going to do is we're going to point this little doohickey down here. I got a little work surface here. Don't fight me, camera. Go down and look at the stuff. And what do we think? Is this a good angle? Yeah, we don't rehearse anything here. Let's not be professional and actually seem like we know what we're doing. Let's just make all this stuff up on the fly. So anyway, so I got this guy here, and I got this pot here, and so we need soil. So plants like to have some dirt. Apologize for the adjustments. This is one of them figure it out on the fly type of situations. Look at this practicing on your time. Okay, now let's speed this up because you don't want to sit here all friggin' day. So we got the plant, we got the pot. So this guy wants some very well draining soil. He doesn't want to sit around in some water. So I got a bucket of grit here, and look at that spilling all over the place. That's okay. This is our mess mat. So this grit is a combination of, I got some Bonsai Jack in here. Bonsai Jack is a type of succulent soil you can buy that's just pure grit with a little pine core, little shredded up pine in it for moisture retention. So I got some Cactus Jack in here. I got some Akadama in here. I got a bunch of pumice in here. So this is kind of a catch-all grit container for when I'm planting things up. Because when you're growing succulents, grit is very important, because this helps the soil drain, and then the pumice and the turfus in there from the cactus jack and maybe a little bit of this pine bark in here, those things will suck up some water, and the plants can actually attach their roots to it and slurp the water out when they need it. So we like that stuff. And then, because this is not enough soil, and I don't want to put this guy in pure grit anyway, I'm going to use this stuff. EB Stone Cactus and Succulent Potting Mix. EB Stone, there's a ripped up logo. This stuff is the best bag succulent potting mix I've ever found, because it's not pure mossy garbage like that Miracle-Gro orange bag stuff that's going to eat your plants. I feel comfortable putting Kalanchoe's in this, certain large Echeveria, some sedum will go directly into this, and I don't worry about it. This stuff dries out within about 2 days. I'm actually having some issues. I tried putting some adeniums in it, and it doesn't hold moisture well enough for the adenium, I don't think. It's happy and it's thriving, but I think I could do a little better. So anyway, this stuff drains really quick. It's pine stuff, forest products, and it's got pumice in it, lots of pumice in it. So we're going to take this stuff and we're going to mix it probably 50-50 with our grit, and then we're gonna mix that all up, mixy, and then we're gonna use that. And so that's kind of what it's gonna look like when we're done here. It's gonna look like a pretty posy gritty. This is not as gritty as I would do, definitely not gritty enough for lithops. A lot of other messems I wouldn't do gritty. I might go a little grittier than this, but this guy, he's a winter rain slurper and grower. Some are dormant in the superheat, but they're kind of an opportunistic grower. So we're going to go ahead and mix up some soil and put it in this pot. We're going to use these little meshy dealies right here to cover up the 3 holes in the bottom of the pot so all my stuff doesn't come out. And we're going to put this plant in it. And so let's do it up. So I'm just going to go ahead, dump that there. Some remnant stuff in here, and we're gonna go ahead. I'll get kind of an equal amount right here. This right there, like that, right there. And so this is how I make soil. I just kind of like free form it as I'm putting the plant together. That doesn't look like it's gonna be enough, so we'll get another handful of this. Chunga. We'll make a mess, and fortunately this is in my office, and I have a very good relationship with the cleaners who come in and clean the offices, and they vacuum for me. They're very nice. I really like them a lot. So I practice my horrible Spanish with them. My wife is from Peru, and she is a fluent Spanish speaker. Although she did come here when she was 7, it sounds like a California girl who speaks English. Sounds like a Peruvian when she speaks Spanish. It's incredible. That woman's amazing. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna dump some. Well, we got some bonsai jack in here. I gotta use up some bonsai jack. So we're gonna throw some of that in there, right there, and let's see. I gotta use some of this stuff up too. This bag out here. So this is a SM substrate I got from the seller. It's all right. It's okay. It's pretty much pumice. Got some turfus in it, but it's not little emerald thumb SM substrate. Holy crap! It's got like 41 things in it. All kinds of zeolites and quartzes and granites and stuff that plants think are pretty delicious. And here's some leaf, Senecio, string of tears, flopping around, propagating a bunch of those right now, so it's not surprising. And so I think that looks pretty good. Right there. And so we're gonna take all this stuff and hopefully not make too much of a mess. Don't want to be that jackass IT guy who doesn't care about people's workloads. And these computers, You sweep floors. Everybody's important. Everyone is a freaking cog in this machine. We're just trying to have fun and be happy. Who gives a shit? Excuse me. Oh, Ox is opinionated. Oh, who would have thought? Everyone knows me, that's who. So we're gonna fall up this pot right here. We're gonna fill up this pot right here. We're gonna fill up this pot right here. We're gonna fill up this pot right here. I hope I made enough. I think I made enough. I think I made enough. I think I made enough. Now, one thing that's cool about using gritty stuff is you don't necessarily have to use a top dressing. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. You get that texture, that outdoor feel. That, oh yeah, yeah. That's not the dirt outside the Circle K in Paris, California. No, that's something special right there. I don't know if there's a Circle K in Paris, California. I bet there's a 7-Eleven. You ever been to Paris? I have. Don't intend on going back. I'm sure it's a lovely town to many people. I don't have any need for it. Anyway, so we got these roots here. We got these roots, and they're dry, and they're curled up. And so, we just kind of want to, this is kind of how I do it. I kind of like, work it in. So, if I was a root, where would I want to be? I would want to be down in the dirt. I don't need to hang out by the plant. Now, we do have kind of a dead leaf on here when you're potting up plants, succulent plants with these leaves like this. It's a good idea to go ahead and pull it if you can, if he'll let go. See, he let go real nice. And we don't want that rotting away underneath the plant. And so these are a tuberous root. And I'm actually not sure, but I have some other Aloinopsis that kind of grow as a caudiform, which means they look like a little tree. They have a caudex, which is a big tuber of a root sticking up out of the ground. If anyone's familiar with an adenium, that's caudiform. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of work that in there. So I'm going to grab my Bonsai Jack chopstick. So what I want to do is I kind of want to work the soil down under the roots, and then I kind of want to push the roots down into the soil. And our goal is to get those guys stretching down into the soil and not curled up as a ball up here at the top. And you kind of got to use the soil to hold them down. You got to push them down. And you want to be gentle, but you know what? You can use some force because they'll heal. They're a growing thing. We want them to grow and grab onto the soil and whatever. So this is important. You got to take your time and do it right. Don't just thunk it down. Although, you know, these are plants. You probably just thunk it down in the soil and figure it out if you did it right. But we're going to help them along as much as we can. And so I'm tucking those roots down, and I'm pushing some soil over, and I'm tucking the roots down, and I'm pushing the soil over. And we want to work those in as well as we can. And then what I like to do, especially on plants with a big root mass, is you kind of come in here and you kind of work everything down in. You don't want any voids down in there. And, you know, we're not working with a bunch of roots, and so there's probably not a lot of voids, but this is good practice. And then I like to kind of just push the edges in towards the center, and that'll kind of lift them up where we want to be. We want this guy to be even with the top of the pot. We want the sun coming in to hit him as much as possible. We don't want any shade from the side of the pot or anything. Plus, we want him to stand proud. He's a beautiful, beautiful Aloinopsis. These are originally from South Africa. Most mesems are from South Africa. South Africa is an amazing source for amazing plants. So amazing that people sometimes go and try to steal them out of their natural environment and do some damage, and really kind of cause some bad things. So I like to make sure that I buy plants, if I can, from people who grow them from seeds. Because if you grow them from seeds, you have not stolen that plant from the wild, essentially. And so for this guy, I think we're gonna top him up with some Cactus Jack, because I don't really have any real top dressing in here, and he's not quite filled up in soil. And so we're just gonna take some Cactus Jack, Bonsai Jack, and we're just gonna kind of lift him up on the edges. Let's kind of lift him up. Lift him up. We don't want to get that in there. We want to have him hanging out on the Bonsai Jack or whatever top dressing you're using, whether it be rocks or akadama. I like using akadama at work for all my plants because it makes it look unified and uniform. And I really like river rock. I like white jade rock with some green hints in it. But this guy is just gonna live outside with all my other messems. And I got a couple other Aloinopsis. I got a Malherbe, Rublionetta, a couple others out there. They hang out with my Titanopsis plants. Evidently they look like titans. Aloinopsis, I don't know if I said this yet, but they're called Aloinopsis. That's kind of a Greek words. Aloe is, I don't know if that's a Greek word or not, but inopsis means looks like. And so the guy who discovered these, L. Bolus, I believe, L. Lawrence, I don't know, L. Bolus, the guy who discovered these, and not discovered them, I mean, I'm sure thousands of natives were looking at these for thousands of years, but you know, the old white guy who came in with the book and the paper and wrote down what he thought he should call it. He said, Aloinopsis, it looks like a dwarf aloe to me. I tell you what, I've never seen an Aloinopsis that looks like any aloe I've ever seen in my life, so maybe I'm just limited in my knowledge. Whatever. So that's kind of it. We're kind of there. We're kind of done. We kind of planted up a plant. Yeah, let's get a little zoomy, looky. Yeah, whoa. Oh, Aloinopsis Luckhoffii. Aloinopsis Setafira, what a guy. Oh yeah, I got another plant in a pot. I like to put pots around plants and pots. So, there we go. Now he's all potted up. And I didn't make too much of a mess down here. Just got my tray down there. Everyone in the garden is looking happy, everybody. I gave some water. I'm not going to be back for a few days. And so I really filled up the pumice on the prop tray and watered. There's a new prop there, and a 2.5 is going to grow out, and we got a new variegated string of pearls chunk back over there. And so, yeah. So, Merry Christmas, plants. I will be back in a few days. And pardon my pause, Merry Christmas to all of you. This has been AoxTheGardener potting up an Aloinopsis Luckhoffii. Oh, he's fancy and beautiful. Anyway, Merry Christmas. If I don't make another video before then, I have some time. I like making these things. I got more plants to pot. I got pots to put them in. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I hope you all are doing extremely well. Much love to every single human and creature and plant on this planet. Love y'all. Bye-bye. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up on the Aloinopsis Luckhoffii in the warm glow of the LCD. Anyway, quick follow-up. This plant, I intend on watering him in about 48 hours, 2 days. Give his roots time to heal up after the abuse that they've just taken. And then after that, he will be watered every 7 to 10 days during winter, spring, and fall. And during summer, the water will be backed off because he'll go kind of sleepy and dormant then. Regular waterings, he'll get a good watering and allowed to dry out for a number of days. And then he'll get another good watering. Soaky, soaky, soaky. And that's what I intend to do with this guy. Lots of light. All the light. In summer, not all the light. Kind of give him some shade in the afternoon when it gets really scorchy. Other than that, these guys want all the light. They will bloom at the end of winter, evidently, if they get enough light. Have to have enough light. It's been cloudy. It will not bloom. So this is a succulent like a lot of our other guys that love that light. Anyway, give it lots of sun. Give it water in the correct times. Plant it in some well-draining, airy, gritty soil. And he should be a happy guy and make you happy watching him grow. And I'm going to love watching this guy and see how he unfolds. Anyway, take care. Bye-bye.